Hey, what's up? This is Alex. This is Release History video series, and here we have Release 1.3 on the phone, portrait mode. And in this video, we're going to play solo offline RPG mode to take a deeper look into the battle stuff. So we'll play small boards to make it a little bit faster. Okay, and we have the phone in an offline mode, as you can see, so there is no that users button, but if we go online, okay, you can see that there are some players. Probably the second guy is also my previous session or something, I don't know. Okay, if we go offline and start the game, yeah, we're gonna hopefully do it pretty quick. Okay, so as I said earlier, the boss starts attacking us as soon as he has enough action points. Yeah, we cannot stop him. We can just do some stuff. Right? We can try to hit him. Hit him again. Okay. He hits us back and he tries to evade, and probably, okay, we have enough action points. Okay, we have killed him, right? We can go deeper. As we go deeper, the density increases because on a small board, each time I go to the next level, it gives me, it adds to, I believe it's one bomb per level. Okay, so this time I was able to finish the board without losing any lives, and I just want to lose the game so that I could show you something. Okay, so I will try to parry and evade constantly, and it looks like so it okay. And as I have lost the battle, I have now the game paused, and before that the game was only paused if I have completed the floor, right? So in case something weird happened and boss performed some insane combo, I know something, there was no way to understand what was going on. And now we have the game paused and we have all the events in a kind of chronological order, where we can browse what was going on. And well, in this case there was not much, except for we can notice that even though we have tried pairing like a lot of times, we have never succeeded, right? Okay, so this feature was added to let you understand what happens, right? Especially when you are not that familiar with that stuff. Okay, and I usually rely upon action points, diamonds stuff, right? While it's ticking, and sometimes you kind of predict what's going to happen after my attack or boss attack. And one of the examples where you can find yourself kind of surprised is let me just try to show it. There is a pattern which allows the boss to quickly react to your attack after his attack has ended, and he kind of instantly tries to evade or parry. Okay, he now have crit me. Okay, now let's see what happens. No, and I try to start my attack right after his, so that even though he hits me, I have one action point. Yeah, you see that? So he hit and he tried to evade instantly, okay? And if he succeeds, the resulting number of action points available for you and for the boss will be kind of a little bit surprising and confusing. So that's why we have this button here, okay? And well, probably we should talk a little bit more about what action points are and how did I came out with this stuff. So when I was considering the battle mechanics, the first option was to try to go for JRPG style, with some predefined order of turns, right, based on some initiative or speed, as we just have speed in our game. Yeah, but it looked like more like single player stuff when you can think about and consider your next move, as long as you can, as you like. So I needed something more real time and asynchronous, and in that developer diary video I made earlier, I showed that I came up with this design revolving around timers and cooldowns. So my state, the states were basically the same, right? So let me just do this. But instead of waiting for enough action points to be available to start an attack. See, by the way, I was not able to finish my attack. We'll talk about it later a little bit. It was based on timers, right? So successful or unsuccessful attack influenced the cooldown state or resulted in cooldown state for either me or the target, okay? And the result was not that good. It was, as I said earlier, a mess. It was counterintuitive. It was, it wasn't that easy to understand when what is going to happen, right? And I don't know what was the game when I first saw that mechanics that instead of doing this, as in JRPGs in static or predefined order, or instead of using some timers, there was the turn meter kind of bar, which meant you would be able to do your next move once it's filled. Okay. And the thing I liked about it was the other players' actions can kind of lower or kind of decrease the level of this bar. Okay, thus moving you down to the turn queue, so you kind of missed your turn, and I like that. So I decided to play around with this stuff, but instead of doing this, like do something only when you have a full turn meter, I decided to try to, do something as you can. So this concept of action points came out, and this is how it is. So you have a maximum number of diamonds, those yellow diamonds action points. It's kind of has action point tick. It's currently 2 seconds. Yeah, on a default speed, and it fills over the time, and you can spend it on performing some actions. So obviously, you spend it actively on things like defend or on attack or assist. Okay, which costs you 2 action points to start and perform it and end it, okay? And for the parry and evade, it costs you 1 action point, okay? And there are 2 checks involved. So, for example, if I start my attack, hold on a second. If I start my attack right after the boss, or in this case, I need to. Okay, maybe like this. Okay, you see, he actually started a little bit after me. So by the moment his attack was about to end, he had not enough action points. Okay, so he just went to active state and he lost some time. And during that time, he could not block the damage. Okay, so that is just stuff that kind of adds some asynchronous behavior. And also the check whether you are able to parry and evade also works this way. So you need 1 action point to start the to go to that stance, right? And in case you don't have enough action points by the end of somebody's attack on you, your parry or evade will be considered as a failure. Okay, and this way you will have a penalty for failing, trying and failing. Yeah? Sure, as I said, basically attack costs 2 action points, right? So parry evade costs 1 action point, If you fail, it costs 1 additional extra hit point. But also, what's there is you have a penalty if you got hit. Okay. So consider this case. And by the way, for the regular hit, you have 1 action point penalty, and if it was a critical hit, you have 2. So in case, let me try to parry. Okay, so he hit, so I lost 2 action points. Yeah, okay, again 2 action points. But if he was able to inflict me critical damage, I would kind of have lost 3. And yes, negative action points are possible. Okay, so there is a chance to have a stun lock if you're able to constantly hit somebody, or if somebody tries to parry or evade and fails. Okay, and on the other hand, successful parry or evade. Let us try to reproduce this. Okay, so I will try to parry as he has 1 speed. Okay, parry. Okay, so I have no cooldown, no penalty, right? And the attacker has a penalty of 1 action point for missing the target. Okay, so it cost him 3 action points. Okay, so this means there is this stuff that changes the order of your turns. Okay, so there is no need to try, spamming the hit button to be first. That's not always the best strategy. Okay, and the other outcome of an attack is, of course, block. Okay, probably we're on a 3rd level, yeah, and we're gonna get the guy with the defense. No, not yet. Okay, so let's probably try to hit him. Okay, he parried, right? And I parried as well. Cool. But by the way, the thing is, sometimes you have lesser hit points and you just need to try to parry, right? And I tried to make the overall chances around like 50%, so there is enough, chance for both of you to parry or evade often. Yeah, and we'll not forget about our orbs here, because it can lower your chance. Increase your chance to perform a parry and lower the chance of the mob to perform himself. Okay, now as we can see, he has defense. Okay, and the hit is blocked. Yeah, and once the hit is blocked, it costs me 2 action points and costs nothing to the mob. And as you can see, by the way, he decides to block. Yeah, because he kind of knows that he can successfully block, right? And as you could see, there was a moment when I was able to degrade his armor, right? And this situation means, like, the first attack is guaranteed to be blocked if you have higher or more physical defense than the attack. But there is a chance to endure, right? What I actually miscalled endure, which is actually degrade. Yeah? So the next time you hit, and the physical defense is greater than the attack, you have a chance to break it. And in this case, it costs you 1 action point as an attacker, because kind of you finally have done so, right? And it also costs 1 action point to the target, right? So there is an kind of there are different combinations of what can happen, right? And as I said earlier, there is now also a chance to pierce through the armor, right? Which I also added, so that at least you would have a chance to inflict damage, even though there is, like, I don't know, +5 physical defense or something, right? So this way you can at least try piercing, and that would mean that it costs a regular 2 action points for the attacker, while there is a penalty of 1 action point for the target. Okay. It looks like I wanted to talk about magic in this video, but it's already like 15 minutes. Yeah, so probably I'm gonna split it into 2 videos, right? And probably I will show you, the magic in the landscape orientation in the next video, and we also will talk about how our attributes like speed and physical attack influences or changes the way that our action points are generated and our maximum action points available. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned.